So, you just went and got a leader bike as your first bike so you could become Instagram famous. Well, that's a terrible idea. Let me break it down for you. A lot of people diss on people who only ride for a camera. They don't go ride just so they can have fun. They only pop out when it's going to be on video. And I'm not going to lie, my life has changed a lot over the course of since I first started riding to now. And I might be partially kind of one of those people, I'm not going to lie. Well, okay, here's the difference. If I don't want to ride, but I can get some content out of it, I'll go ride to be able to make some content. If I do want to ride, I'll ride regardless of whether my GoPro is charged up or not. I mean, I had a long period of time where I was riding and I just was way too lazy to edit or put, you know, charge my GoPro or anything like that. It's like I have my times where people make fun of me for just being an influencer, which if you only watch my YouTube, I'm not even big enough to make that joke, but my Instagram has passed 100K, so my friends make fun of me for that. But yeah, I don't know, because I haven't been riding a lot. Partially it's because of this lady. I don't know, she's my first girlfriend ever. I'm 21, she's my first girlfriend, so and it's not like she like hogs me and makes me not able to ride. She has a bike, like we could just go ride if we wanted to ride. I don't know, I've kind of done all the kinds of riding over the last like 4 years, and I just don't really crave it the way that I used to. But once I'm out, I have fun once I'm out. It's just getting me out that kind of is the hard part. But I don't know, I guess I saw Mute's post the other day of all these people crashing, becoming the latest and greatest Instagram reel, you know, somebody dying or almost dying. And there's just a lot of people out there, I guess, that they get a bike just so they can make an Instagram for it. For me, I just wanted to be able to ride, and then over the course of like my first 2 years riding, I realized that I wanted to get into stunting. Well, I just really just wanted to be able to hold like a balance point wheelie, and then once I got into it, I just kept pushing it. So that's really what got me into stunting, was just like once I nailed like a balance point wheelie, I just kept going. But my background kind of comes from making videos. My dad made movies when he was younger, like when I was a little baby, and basically his whole career has been video production and editing. And so like from a young age, I learned how to edit. I've just always been interested in making videos. Like I was making gaming videos, you know, before I ever had a motorcycle. And I even have a gaming channel. I got up to like 500 subscribers with it before I just decided to dip off the face of the earth, because I just kind of lost interest in gaming. Was really the only reason I stopped. The point is, I've just always been in like the realm of recording and editing. And so when it came to riding, I just wanted to record and edit it all, because I enjoyed the writing portion and the editing portion just as much. Like a lot of the people who ride, you can't get them to post because they just don't want to edit. They don't want to sit down and edit. But I actually really like editing. Making the Instagram reels for me is as much fun as like going and recording them. She's talking to herself. But yeah, like that's the reason that I really do what I do, is because I didn't get a bike so I could go out and make content with the bike. I make content with the bike because I've just always been in the kind of lifestyle of making content out of what I want to do. And when riding became one of the hobbies that I wanted to do, I already had GoPros and stuff. So I was like, well, I might as well turn the GoPro on. In the beginning of riding, everything was interesting to me, so I was able to make a video out of everything. Now that I've been doing it for a long time, things are less interesting to me because they're kind of like, they become more repetitive. But to somebody out there, things that I do every time I ride, that might be the first time they've ever seen something like that. I don't really know where I was going with that, but the point is, if you want to make fun of me for like being an influencer because I only ride when there's a camera or whatever, like I get it. But at the same time, like that's not what got me into this stuff. But there's people out there that I think their whole goal with getting a bike is basically to be a moto creator or whatever you want to call it, not because they even care about riding, which I really don't care if people even care about riding. Like this isn't some like community or lifestyle thing that I'm like really all trying to gatekeep, like, oh, if you're not really about it, you don't need to be on it. Like, man, I keep like just splitting off into all these varieties of topics. So bad at staying on track. That's the second person that's wanted me to rev today. Yeah, there's just all these people going out and getting a bike. There's people too who are like, they're making videos in a helmet. People are making fun of them, calling them helmet creators, and then they're like, hey guys, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe so you can help fund my first motorcycle. And then they're probably gonna go get a bike that's too big for them when they have no experience. I'll be honest, I started on a 600 and it's a stupid idea. And I had like dirt bike experience, but I didn't have top end. Like, I was not prepared to have as much top end as I had. And I'll be honest, guys, like, you can be, I was a very responsible kid, and I still am a pretty responsible just person in general. And when I had access to the speed, of course I'm gonna use it. And I feel like you're kidding yourself if you think that you can like really hold back from using it. If you see a wide open road just dead straight, you'll be like, okay, well, you know, there's no way anything can go wrong. Well, something could go wrong, you don't know, and you're gonna have all this top speed and you're gonna have no idea how to control it or move it over, manipulate, you know, whatever. If something goes wrong, you get a tire blowout, your filter comes off like mine did and soaks your rear tire with oil. Now your back end sliding everywhere, or there's a big ass pothole, or car pulls out of nowhere. Who knows what could happen? And you're on a bike with more speed than you know how to control. Now, if you really are super responsible and you actually are like determined to not overuse your bike until you're ready, more power to you. But I think 99% of people who are gonna get a bike probably can't hold themselves back like that. And so to go out there and get a 600 or 1000 or whatever as your first bike, it's just kind of dumb. But the thing is, these people are trying to go get a big old bike like that because it's easy likes on Instagram. Like, honestly, that was the main reason. And I got a stock 600, which it's not like the most stocky stock, but it's stock enough. But that's really why I got one, is because I saw just how much easier it was to get likes and views if you're not stunting. And plus, I kind of missed being able to go to like events that are far out, because I didn't want to take a bike with a 52 sprocket, you know, on a 40-minute ride. The most I can go is like 70, or else my bike is just screaming and crying. There's multiple reasons that made me want to get this, but also, like, I could have, if I really wanted to be broke, I could have gone up to a 1000, but I just know if I have a 1000, my chances are low, bro. I like life, and when we ride, we need to, you know, like Jigsaw Bros said, you gotta go out riding prepared to come back home. You can't go out and just be like, oh, well, if I make it, I'll text you when I get home. No, you say, when I make it home, I will text you. You always plan on coming home when you ride, and I just feel like with a 1000, I'd be just a little bit too reckless. So I limited my top speed a little bit. Even if you're a great rider, every once in a while somebody will pop out, and I'm not saying that you can't dodge it, because I dodged it. There's plenty of like dodgeable stuff, even when it's last second and unpredictable. But that's the problem, is that us experienced riders, we can kind of see it coming, and we have a plan ready for when that unpredictable stuff comes out. Also, a lot of people think everything's so unavoidable because it looks like it comes out of nowhere on a GoPro, but I can see so far in real life. Like, I don't know if you guys can see this bright yellow truck up here on my right, or this 40-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up here. You'll see it when we pass it, or that car with the headlights coming towards me from, you know, really far from here is the blinking like stop sign light. Like, you see this stuff that I'm pointing out like real far back. Like, in real life, we could see so much farther ahead than the GoPro can see. But that's another thing too, is that these inexperienced riders, you have all this speed and you go speed up over something like this, and then all of a sudden somebody's pulling out right here. Like, you need some riding experience before you just go out there and you have all this speed. Because if you don't know how to control your bike to like maneuver this stuff, and you don't have a little bit of experience with just minor shit going wrong, then you just panic. And there's all these people out there who, like, they get into something completely avoidable, and all they do is just pull the clutch and rev because they expect everybody else to just get out of their way real quick. That's not how this stuff works. You got to ride like you're invisible. You got to be prepared to take everything into your own hands. You cannot ride ride a motorcycle thinking that anybody else is gonna do the job for you of keeping you safe. You get out here and you protect yourself. So then these people out here who start a GoFundMe to get their first bike, and they're gonna go buy some big ass fast ass bike because now they have all this free money basically, or whatever. Like people who are just starting on something way too big because they just want the clicks. I have no problem with you recording as soon as you get your first bike and like documenting your process of learning. It's what I did. Like, I'm not trying to be hypocritical. All I'm saying is, if you're getting a bike specifically for views, you need to at least learn how to ride it. Like, you need to put in the work to make sure you're gonna be safe out there, and you probably really need to start with something small, especially if you have zero experience. I don't know who has the self-control to not want to pull the throttle when they got a 1000, you know? I'm probably just rambling, so I rest my case, okay? You can debate in the comments if you think I'm right or wrong. I'm probably wrong. I hate seeing people crash. I don't want to see people get hurt. I don't care what reputation it puts on the biker community. People all the time, they're like, they see me doing wheelies or doing whatever, and they're like, this is what gives the biker community a bad name. I really don't care what name or brand or whatever the biker community has, bro. Everybody is their own individual. That's like saying that one guy who cuts you off in a car, watch out for this. It's like saying that one guy who cuts you off in a car makes all vehicles look bad. Or one BMW that didn't use his blinker. All BMW drivers now suck. Most people, okay, I will say actually a lot of people do hate bikers. They just like absolutely hate them. They want them to die. But most people, once it's in real life and they're not commenting on Instagram or Facebook, they're actually pretty kind of sympathetic, probably, hopefully. I don't know. I've kind of met a lot more rude people in the last couple of years. I feel like a lot of people got more mean lately. I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, most people IRL are pretty sympathetic. Even if you goof and loop a wheelie and like do something embarrassing, like they stop and they're caring and they try to help. Sometimes people will laugh in your face and say, haha, that's what you get, because I've heard of that happening too. But for the most part, most people are still going to judge you individually when they see you on the road. They're not going to see some random biker they've never seen before and go, hey, I saw this guy wheelie on Instagram, so I'm going to run this guy over. Most people are not psychopaths. They don't think like that. They just comment like that on Instagram because nobody's going to show up at their doorstep and do anything about it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, do what you want to do. I'm not gonna stop you. And if you want to make bike content, if that is like your ultimate goal in life, absolutely go for it. Just be responsible about it. There's a lot of people out here that have quite a bit of experience, and like they're trained on the predictability of cars. They have their escape routes planned out. They really are good at like judging what gaps they can make depending on their speed. They know if they should slow down or speed up for a gap. There's a ton of factors that go into it. It's not just dumb luck. People that think it's dumb luck, they crash. There's a lot of skill to it, and some of it is partially luck, but a lot of it's still kind of skill, because there is sometimes unpredictable but avoidable things, and when you don't have skill, you crash and oh, you got unlucky. But if you have skill, you avoid it. All I'm trying to say is, if you're gonna go out there and get a bike because your goal in life is to start making motorcycle content, just work your way up to it. And also, like, if you're a young kid, drive on the street for a year. Like, this is what I did. I got my license. I wanted to get a motorcycle. My parents made me wait until I was 17, which they're like way more accepting of it than probably the majority of parents are gonna be about it. But I waited till I was 17. I drove regularly for a year. That way I could like understand how people drive. And I think it was extremely beneficial to kind of figure out what people were going to be like out on the street before getting a bike. Because once I did get out on a bike, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I belong out here. I kind of want to check out this garage sale, but that's probably not going on today. You going? All right, go car. Guys, just be careful. Be responsible.